on other persons and a shared direction towards a common goal. If you look at Merriam-Webster's, it defines leadership as the office or position of a leader, the capacity to lead, the act or instance of leading. And according to Dwight Eisenhower, back in 1958, he said that leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. You know, I went to Fordham University, and I like to talk about that, and I'm very proud of my roots there. Met a ton of great friends there and learned an awful lot. It's a very interesting institution in terms of the leadership that has come out of that great university. It's in every field it encompasses. We've got in the acting field, which might be shocking to some of you given the type of business school that Fordham is, but it also had a wide range of liberal arts programs, and Alan Alda from MASH graduated from there, and Denzel Washington, Susan Lucci, and then from the political arena, G. Gordon Liddy. And I actually spent some time with G. Gordon Liddy and his son, who was attending Fordham back when I was attending Fordham. And man, the education you get in between the classes at a fine university is really, really powerful to spend time with those types of leaders and the commitment and the heart they had to leadership. Donald Trump also went to Fordham, and the very, very famous Vin Scully, the sports announcer, and Attorney General John Mitchell as well. And I could keep going on and on about the esteemed graduates of Fordham University, and maybe even one on a trivia question. I actually saw him this week, or this year, in Las Vegas for my mom's 80th birthday celebration, that being David Copperfield. Yes, that magician that happens to own an island now in the Bahamas for all of his success. So all of these leaders do it in a different way. But for me, perhaps the three greatest leaders I know or have extensively studied are also Fordham alumni, and I speak of the one that I think is the greatest leader to come out of Fordham. He titled Titletown, USA, a true man of steel, a man of granite, and that is Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi was the head football coach of the Green Bay Packers. What a phenomenal leader Mr. Lombardi was on the football field and, more importantly, off the field. He definitely had some innovative leadership ideas, and I love to remember several of his quotes. One of his quotes, and I love this: "We didn't lose the game, we ran out of time." Now there's a great definition of someone who has no quit. This quote: "Practice doesn't make perfect, only perfect practice makes perfect." I find that interesting that that's a Vince Lombardi quote, because my wife is a concert pianist, and she taught a number of students that went on to scholarship in piano. And I heard her say that all the time. To me, this is where leadership really is born. When people are using your quotes, they have such an influence, and the quotes have such a broad appeal that they can cover you on the football field, or even you as you look to be a concert pianist. Isn't that a broad range of acceptability or leadership in the way you do things? And my favorite Vince Lombardi quote of all: "Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence." And that is a fantastic quote. And I think many of you have heard quotes like this. I've even used them in my own way, and I probably was a derivative of the Lombardi quote when I was trying to coach up my teams, which is aim for the stars, and if you end up in the clouds, it's still a huge victory. So all of those types of quotes, I believe, came and stemmed from that Vince Lombardi quote about excellence. So the Fordham story about, for me, when I first really started to learn about Vince Lombardi, was when I went to the gym, if you will, at Fordham University, which was named after Lombardi himself. And this was an amazing, amazing gym. It would almost be wrong to call it a gym. It had multiple basketball courts. It had had tennis, it had racquetball, it had weightlifting, it had all types of activities, and all around it was Lombardiisms, Lombardi quotes about excellence. And you knew right away when you were attending Fordham University that you were attending a place where there was incredible and great leadership. In that arena is probably when I first understood work hard and play hard, and that's certainly an important quote to me today. Lombardi believed that leadership rests only on the outstanding, but not only on outstanding ability, but on these attributes: commitment, loyalty, pride, and followers. I love this part. Followers ready to accept guidance. That's the real first step of leadership, the one that I think most people miss. You have to learn first. You become a new manager and you walk into a company and you just can't go in and run the show. You have to sit there and learn. You have to soak it in. You have to become that follower that is looking for excellence, looking to learn, looking to not be arrogant, but to learn all the way from top to bottom. Lombardi's career, it's really interesting. He started off as a high school teacher in physics, chemistry, and Latin, of all things. In addition to coaching football, basketball, his son, Vince Jr., wrote the book. So this isn't one of those stories where Vince Lombardi wrote books on leadership. He never really did. But his son wrote a book called Lombardi Rules, and Vince soon found his true calling was really exhorting others to greatness on the football field. And that's what he's known for. But as the head coach of the Packers from 1959 to 1967, Vince Lombardi took a ragtag group of players that had floundered at the very bottom of the NFL and in only 2 seasons molded them into a championship team. 3 NFL championships, as well as the first 2 Super Bowl ever in Green Bay, Wisconsin. But what does winning at football have to do with business or closing a deal? And that is one word: leadership. His ability to motivate players and inspire them to surpass their own perceived physical and mental capabilities was astounding. His model, it all started with a simple premise: only by knowing yourself can you become an effective leader. And I found that to be true in my own life. His son once wrote, once you understand yourself, you can start to grow and write your character. Remember my first brisk bit? If you can't write it down, it can't be done. You need to know who that character is, and you need to write that character for yourself. And it's inside you. And so obviously that applies way down deep, like deep into our DNA. We have to prime that pump and that mind to discover our true character. And it's building those crucial attributes where the leadership formula really exists: character and integrity. That's the formula. Self-knowledge leads to character, and integrity leads to leadership. So let's break down the quote of Lombardi that mentions the talent and hard work and even intelligence is not enough. In order to become a strong leader, you must first be a follower who is ready to accept guidance. Let's take that one step further and make this a brisk bit. Be a follower that is hungry for guidance and knowledge, and then become the leader. It's not enough to be young, scrappy, and hungry like in the Hamilton play. In business, you have to thirst for mentorship and guidance and be earnest as a purist. Really search it out. Search for the mentorship. A young manager today that joins a team immediately wants to change the way things are done, all puffed up with arrogance, because you don't even have the respect, possibly, to assume that the people before you built this organization. So it's time for you, instead of punching holes in things, to become a leader, to learn things from the ground up. A person who's grounded in truth doesn't have to look very far to find the right thing to do. Because when you're guided by truth for the same person in private as you are in public, that's when you know where a true leader is. And it's easy to be that leader at that point. I was fortunate enough to hear Norman Schwarzkopf do a conversation, and he had a quote that has stuck with me really my whole life. And this quote was, "The truth of the matter is that you always know the right thing to do, and the hard part is doing it." I think that's true. We do know the right thing. And he ended his talk by saying, do the right thing. You know what it is, just do it. And I think those are words to live by. And we're going to close out this segment of Brisk Business Basic and move along to segment 2, which is Brisk, Buy, or Bail. I'll be back on Briskie Business.
Understanding your microbiome can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Super Greens is a one-of-a-kind blend that's loaded with hard-to-find nutrient-dense superfoods. We've used what we've learned from our more than 20 years working with mineral-based nutrition to create one of the healthiest, plant-based nutritional products available. Each superfood was carefully selected so that it complements and enhances the others, helping to maximize Super Greens' nutritional power. Next, we added a specialized fermentation technique to increase the bioavailability of each superfood. Finally, we put in powerful probiotics and enzymes for added digestive support to give you jam-packed nutritional support. Youngevity Super Greens, the highly alkalinizing super supplement that helps balance your body. It's the superfood-powered way to get more organic fruits and veggies in your day, all in just one scoop. Check with your Youngevity distributor to learn more.
Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Youngevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
A strong heart is a happy heart. Your body's systems depend on a healthy cardiovascular system to thrive. Without a healthy heart, you could experience symptoms like fatigue, aches and pains, dizziness, or shortness of breath. Youngevity developed Ultimate EFA Plus with a proprietary balanced blend of essential fatty acids. We started with flaxseed oil. It's been shown to improve the elasticity of arteries and support healthy blood pressure. Next, we included cold water fish oils, rich in omega-3s that can promote a healthy cardiovascular system and even increase levels of good HDL cholesterol. Then we added borage oil, known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Blended together, these essential fatty acids provide you with the optimal blend of nutrients to help maintain normal cardiovascular health. Ultimate EFA Plus, the right nutrients to improve your heart health naturally. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to Briskie Business. This segment of the program is called Brisk's Buy or Bail. And we named it that because it's really about the decision-making process, if you will. And in Brisk Buy or Bail, we go through the evaluation of a decision, and obviously if we bail on something, that means we don't go through with it, or we pass on it, and if we buy it, then we're committed and we're doing it and we're making a move. And a few episodes ago, I think it actually might have been last episode, I had Drew Pearson, NFL great, Cowboy great, on the phone with me as a guest. And we spoke for the entire hour, and it was great to catch up with Drew because him and I built a really nice business together. I ultimately became the CEO of the company that bears his name, Drew Pearson Marketing. And it was really one of the biggest buys in my lifetime. It was a buy or bail decision, and it was at a really interesting time. And I want to take you back there with me because I think it's an interesting story. So we're going to head back to the 1980s, promising young man. Here I am in my mid-20s, really thought I had the world at my fingertips, and I was in the real estate business at this point in my career. And I found it peculiar in the real estate business that all of those that were in the business were waiting around to see if their deal would fund. In other words, they'd have a deal in the title company, they'd maybe have sold a piece of land to someone or a shopping center or an industrial property, whatever it was. And they would be waiting for something to happen, and it was always subject to financing. Not that different really than it is today. If you think about when you buy a home, it's always subject to financing. So this is how it was in the commercial real estate business. And waiting around for a deal to happen based on someone else's activity, I thought, this is peculiar. So why can't I arrange the financing after I put the deal together? Now, I was a marketing and finance major at Fordham, which I learned not till I was in my 40s that that's pretty unusual. But I had an aptitude for finance, and I really started doing my studies. And I started to finance my own deals. So when people asked how my real estate deals were progressing, I knew exactly how they were doing because I was also arranging the financing as well. It was a pretty cool business model. You'd make the commission on the sale of the real estate deal, and you'd also get paid by the lender for providing the financing. So you were basically making two commissions. And I got pretty good at finance and financing my own deals. And when it's your deal you're trying to finance and you're going to get paid to do it, it's amazing how creative you can get, and it's amazing how you can broaden your reach at various types of financing. And it went very, very well for me. Well, guess what happened back in the late 80s? My whole world came crashing down. I think it's an appropriate story given what's going on today out in our world with this coronavirus. The banking industry that was providing all of the financing literally shriveled up after the price of oil crashed in Texas in particular, and the entire oil business went down with the real estate business and essentially plummeted. My market in the Texas area, the epicenter, was ground zero for the savings and loan collapse. By 1988, I met Drew. At that point in time, 175 banks had failed. That's about 25% of all state assets. Every single Texas savings and loan went under. The FDIC had, quote, Black Tuesdays. These were unbelievable trying times. The banks filled up with real estate property. The industry that I was in almost didn't exist anymore. Those that were really doing well, the people that I were working with, were basically now selling shoes, shining shoes, doing anything they could to make a buck. really not that different than it is today. This was about the time I was introduced to Drew Pearson. And interestingly, it was a common attorney that introduced us. And this is when I had to make a shift. Should I shift out of the real estate business into this business opportunity? It turns out that Drew Pearson was needing money. And this was a market where there wasn't the possibility to gain money, so we would have to get creative. But I started to feel tired of being as good as my last deal. That, to me, represented the real estate business. You were as good as your last deal. There was not a whole lot of loyalty in that sector, and with financing dried up, this was really going to be an interesting opportunity. So I met Drew, and we chatted, and I met a couple of his partners, and they were in the licensed products business. I didn't know a whole lot about licensed products, but I did know a whole lot about finance and how to run a business. So I cut a deal with them. And you talk about a sink or swim, you talk about a buy or bail. My deal, I wanted a piece of this company. I was to the point in my career, I owned that real estate company at this point, that I really didn't want to be with a company that I wasn't an equal partner. So I decided to, in the craziest finance market that existed, in the craziest time where no one could borrow money, I decided to cut a deal for equity with Drew Pearson, to be an equal partner with him and his crew and build this licensed business. And the deal I cut was they didn't have to pay me until I got them out of a financial situation that they were in. Now let me tell you something. I was 28. That was a pretty confident, or maybe some would say cocky thing to do, but I thought I could do it. And this is when one of the segments I've talked about, when you're raising money or how much capital you think you need or how long you think you're going to take, multiply it by 3. Well, I hadn't taken that Briskie Business course at that point in time. And I was sure that in 3 months, I could resolve the challenges that Drew Pearson Marketing was facing. And that equal ownership I negotiated was going to be an unbelievable windfall. And things were just going to be great. Well, 3 months turned into 6 months. And 6 months turned into a year. And ultimately to 18 months. It's a long time for a 28-year-old to go without a salary. Boy, I was thinking about maybe bail was the right idea on that decision. I've also had people say, geez, that's incredible perseverance. You'll hear that about leadership, perseverance. Well, I like to equate the perseverance in this decision like setting off to swim the English Channel. Let's just say you leave the shore and you're swimming. And one thing you start to figure out and know is that you are way too tired to go back to the shore you left. So your best approach is just to keep swimming and hope you're going to hit the shore on the other side. And that was my experience at Drew Pearson Marketing. 18 months later, my hand touched the shore. 18 months later, the financial problems were resolved. Way longer than I thought it would be. But you know what? That decision shaped who I was as a person, developed me into a leader like you can't even describe. That no quit that we heard about when we spoke about Vince Lombardi. These are the decisions that you have to make in these types of times, and you damn sure need to make sure you don't have any quit. From that standpoint, when we finally touched the shore, we got to go to work. And 2 years after touching the shore, we were one of Dallas's fastest growing companies, one of Texas's fastest growing companies. 4 years after that, raising capital was easy. We had banks lining up. We started to take off. And before you know it, we ended up with an 18-year career that Drew and I discussed. From 4 people in a struggling time and an economy that was a disaster, banks that didn't exist, S&Ls that went out of business, money that couldn't be found. We had to get creative. And we got creative. We got real creative with our partnerships, and we had a no-quit attitude. And before you know it, the light started shining on all of us, and it ended up being the greatest decision I had ever made. I believe buy or bail decisions are critical, and really going to be critical in these trying times. Do your assessment. Once you make a decision to go, you go with everything you got, and you make sure your hand ultimately touches the shore. Because when it does, that gratification, oh my God, there's nothing like it. and then you get to take off in your business and do the great things that you always admired. The thing about business is there's left turns and right turns, and there's mountains you have to climb. And it's not always the way you script it. There'll be decisions you have to make. Some you'll get right, some you'll get wrong. But if you make the decision to stay committed to the cause, stay true to yourself, know what you want, know what's in you to be successful, understand the people that are around you that depend on your hard work and success, you can ultimately come out a winner, even when you think you're on a path that is the wrong path. Stay with it, take a left, take a right, but keep moving forward along the way. And you'll have a story like the story of Drew Pearson Marketing, a company with 4 people, just 4 people alone. Our first hire was Drew's sister, and ultimately we had 16 offices in Europe. We ultimately built the first westernized factory in Shenzhen, China. We ultimately had 4,000 employees, and our 10-year anniversary, we all got to speak in front of that team that we built, that team from 5 people to 4,000. That team now that depended on us and our success. That team whose fiber, that team whose culture was built on people that did not quit, that strive for excellence. This is what's there for you when you make a decision to be great. This is what's there for all of us if we have a no-quit attitude. And we're going to end this segment right now because I can't think of a better way to end it than being on top. And I believe all of you are going to be on top during these times. So this concludes our segment, and we will be right back with Brisk, Bulls, and Bears, the public markets segment of our program on Briskie Business.
Our NTV USA platform has its own smartphone applications. If you're operating on Android, please make sure to go to the Play Store, search up NTV USA, hit download and install. If you're operating on iPhone or any other kind of iOS operating system, please go to the App Store, search up NTV USA, hit download and install. It's simple, it's easy, but most of all, it's comfortable. There, you'll find notifications to all of our programming so that you can follow us and keep up with all of our shows. And every single announcement that we make here at NTV USA, under every single program, you'll find a link that with a single click will take you directly to the smartphone applications. So what are you waiting for? Enjoy our programming. Stay tuned, stay connected, enjoy a nice cup of coffee. And remember, con una vista, basta.
Cardio Beats from Longevity supports a healthy cardiovascular system and helps supply the nutrients your body needs to support better physical endurance. Your capacity to last a little longer is largely based on how well your cardiovascular system expends oxygen and circulates blood through your body. Cardio Beats helps combat the oxidative stress caused by physical activity by supplying you with key nutrients that support your cardiovascular system. These nutrients have also been shown to help improve endurance. Cardio Beats starts with organic beets, a rich source of nitrates to support healthy blood flow and oxygen transport. We've added whole foods from highly bioavailable seaweed and mango fruit, both known for blood flow support, and antioxidant-rich sweet cherries. Then, for even more heart health benefits, we finished it off with key amino acids. Take your physical endurance to the next level with Cardio Beats. Talk to your Longevity associate for more information.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Longevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Youngevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Nothing like a great cup of coffee to share with friends. Welcome back to Briskie Business. This segment is called Brisk Bulls and Bears, and this is where we get into public markets. We finished up last segment talking about a tough challenge at Drew Pearson Marketing where we overcame, and ultimately, I'm not sure we finished that segment with, we talked about the success we finally enjoyed after looking like we weren't going to actually make it. But that success actually culminated with us taking the company public on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, which is very interesting. And it seems like that whole story had trials and tribulations. I had a ton of people say, well, why didn't you just go public in the United States? Why do you have to go public on the Hong Kong? And most people think, well, it's because they had that factory in Shenzhen, that first westernized factory. But yet we had a big operation in the United States and Canada and 16 offices in Europe. So that would have been a reason alone to maybe go public in the United States. But this was around the time just post 9/11, and our public markets were in an uproar, a disaster really. So it wasn't the right place for us at the time, but we found a way, and a way that worked for us. And you hear me talk about pivots all the time, but so I have a strong belief in the public markets. And I love this segment because this is going to be interesting. And this will be one that may help you win a trivia contest someday. Those of you that were here at the very beginning of the program know that I love to talk about Vince Lombardi and him at Fordham and what he did for the Green Bay Packers and who he was as a leader. Unbelievable. Look up some of his quotes. An amazing, amazing man that was grounded with principles. But the cool thing about the Green Bay Packers, it is the only team and it's quite unique to the NFL. In fact, it's not only unique to the NFL, it's unique to every sports franchise, Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, you name it. It's very, very unique for one fascinating reason. The team doesn't technically have a single owner or a handful of partners like every other team in every other sport league. Instead, the team is owned by hundreds of thousands of fans, all who bought a piece of the Green Bay Packers in a public stock sale. Want all the details who owns the Green Bay Packers? You want to figure that out and how public ownership works? Here's what you need to know if you want to own a piece of the Packers. As the Packer website explains, and you can go check it out there, it's been publicly owned nonprofit corporation, so a publicly owned nonprofit since August 18 of 1923. That's when the original articles of incorporation were formed, filed with Wisconsin Secretary of State, and the fans have supported the team by buying shares of the Packers in 5 separate stock sale transactions. Those happened in 1923, as I said, 1935, 1950, 1997, and 2011. And today, 361,000 people and a little more own the Green Bay Packers. I think that is an incredible story. Over 5 million shares own the ownership structure of this iconic franchise. The conversation about the Packers, it isn't like holding a stock or a regular meeting when you look at typical public companies like we like to speak about. But I think the story is intriguing enough about the power of being public and what it can do. And it also dovetails into sometimes it's not always about the money, and that's certainly the case of this publicly owned franchise. In Sports Illustrated, it says, there was an article and it says, no lucky Green Bay fan will get rich off the team's next Super Bowl win because the stock pays no dividends. In fact, the stock of the Green Bay Packers isn't even sellable. Certainly opposite of what we've been talking about on this segment each week. We talk about public markets and about owning a public company as an investment. The Wall Street Journal called the investment in the Green Bay Packer stock the worst stock play in America. There's an article called Deadspin referring to the ownership owning stock as a, quote, feel-good scam. And plus, Deadspin notes that if the team ever gets sold, shareholders will not receive a slice of the purchase price or even get their initial investment back. But fans will tell you something completely different. So obviously, it's not the whole story or not the only story about owning a piece of the Green Bay Packers. So what do the shareholders of the Green Bay Packers get? Well, the team isn't currently offering stock for sale, but a single share cost $250 in the last offering. And buying one gave a shareholder a souvenir certificate, and it gave them the right to buy special ownership or shareholder-only merchandise. You gotta love the creativity here. And an invitation, and I think this is actually big, to shareholders meetings at Lambeau Field. And these shareholder meetings take place every year during training camp. What great marketing, right? To bring your shareholders there. And your shareholders are actually your greatest fans. They own the team along with you. It's really, really interesting. It's actually not as uncommon here in the United States, but in foreign countries, it's not uncommon for the teams to be owned by the fans, but sure is uncommon in this country. The Packers owners, if you will, the fans, they get to vote for the Green Bay's board of directors. They get to avoid the 7-member executive committee. But the shareholders really have no say in team decisions, football or otherwise. You can think of a couple of benefits, too, if you talk to the fans. The fans earn nothing financially by owning the stock. It's a unique arrangement. Doesn't ensure profits don't go into the pockets. This unique arrangement, here it is, ensures that profits don't go into the pockets of a handful of owners. Profits instead go into a corporation. This corporation is Green Bay Packers, Inc. And the fans gain assurance that their team won't leave Green Bay. Now understand, this is the smallest market of all major professional sports leagues. So this is a very, very big deal to the fans. Isn't this an interesting public structure that the Green Bay Packers organization came with to help finance a small market team, spreading the risks, but finding prideful people that wanted to make sure they had a football team that would remain in their small town? What a creative way to be public. You know, the rules of ownership that the shareholders follow are a little bit funky, but you know what? The fans purchase the shares of the Packers, and suddenly they have this surprising rule, at least technically. You'll find this probably a little bit crazy, but you don't get to criticize the Packers. That's one of the rules that come into play. So if you own these shares, you cannot disparage the Green Bay Packers. It's very, very interesting. Not typical that we see when there's a multimillionaire owner out there. In Deadspin, they said they apply just as much to all of the shareholders who own a piece of the Green Bay Packers, this non-disparaging agreement that they have, almost like a cult. And man, it has been said, and it'll be hard for you to not be able to argue this. Packers fans, best fans on earth. I think it's the reason why they're some of the best fans on earth is because they own a piece of the rock. They own a piece of their team. They actually put their hard-earned money down. If you monitor message boards for negative messages, you're really unlikely to see it with the Packers. You won't see it. You'll see how it affects journalists. Think about this. Right to free speech, you're a journalist. And you as a journalist now bought this stock in the Packers. But you have this non-disparagement agreement. So now you as a journalist, you only can give good opinions on the Packers. Maybe that's why they're so good. Even the media has been influenced by this ownership structure. So I find it extremely interesting and really novel, the people that came up with it. Probably came up in a pivot. I think I've read that the Packers a few times were hurting for capital. And these are the times that they reached out to the public and they gave them a chance to own a piece of the Green Bay Packers and a piece of that certificate. So sometimes owning a company or owning a piece of a company can be bigger than money. Now, I don't expect that you should put your entire portfolio invested in these types of investments. But you know what? It's good to have, and we heard Mary Lou Henner say this on a past program, it's good to have some fun money to invest with. Investing should be serious. 90% of what you invest should be in safe, smart investments. But it's okay to take 10% and to go ahead and invest maybe in a friend's company. Go ahead and invest in something that just seems like a crazy new novel idea that might be out there. You know, I've got a ton of friends and they have their smart money, as they call it, and their smart money is invested in these types of secure and safe investments. And that's where they should be. But I love to see that they have that small percentage of portfolio in things they just want to take a chance on, companies they just want to take a flyer on, maybe hair-bending crazy ideas. The funny thing is when we get together, no one ever talks about the 90% of their portfolio. They always talk about that other 10%. And if you get together with a Packers fan, you know what he's going to be talking about? His Green Bay Packers share certificate. His certificate that helped keep a company in Wisconsin. A company and a football team that Vince Lombardi helped create, one of the great champions in. I love that story. I love its roots to Fordham, and I love that in investing, it's not always about the money. Sometimes it can be about doing the right thing. And so we're going to conclude this segment of Brisk Bulls and Bears, and we're going to move on to Brisk's Best and Brightest. And I'll be right back after a word from our sponsor here on Briskie Business.
More and more healthcare professionals and people seeking alternative and natural health treatments are turning to hemp-based products because of the growing body of research supporting its benefits. Youngevity has leveraged our years of natural plant-based nutritional research to introduce 3 new products. Hemp FX Soothe helps support muscles and joints by enhancing a healthy immune response and reducing free radical stress. For optimal results, it contains our hemp-derived CBD plus the powerful antioxidant glutathione. Hemp FX Relax helps ease the mind and the body for a deep and restful sleep. We combined our hemp-derived CBD with melatonin to help support your best night's sleep. To help support positive energy for your mind and your mood, we created Hemp FX Uplift. In combination with St. John's wort and a specialized set of terpenes and cannabinoid enhancers. To learn more about Hemp FX, contact your Youngevity distributor or visit hempfx.com.
Cardio Beats from Youngevity supports a healthy cardiovascular system and helps supply the nutrients your body needs to support better physical endurance. Your capacity to last a little longer is largely based on how well your cardiovascular system expends oxygen and circulates blood through your body. Cardio Beats helps combat the oxidative stress caused by physical activity by supplying you with key nutrients that support your cardiovascular system. These nutrients have also been shown to help improve endurance. Cardio Beats starts with organic beets, a rich source of nitrates to support healthy blood flow and oxygen transport. We've added whole foods from highly bioavailable seaweed and mango fruit, both known for blood flow support, and antioxidant-rich sweet cherries. Then, for even more heart health benefits, we finished it off with key amino acids. Take your physical endurance to the next level with Cardio Beats. Talk to your Youngevity associate for more information.
Understanding your microbiome can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Super Greens is a one-of-a-kind blend that's loaded with hard-to-find nutrient-dense superfoods. We've used what we've learned from our more than 20 years working with mineral-based nutrition to create one of the healthiest, plant-based nutritional products available. Each superfood was carefully selected so that it complements and enhances the others, helping to maximize Super Greens' nutritional power. Next, we added a specialized fermentation technique to increase the bioavailability of each superfood. Finally, we put in powerful probiotics and enzymes for added digestive support to give you jam-packed nutritional support. Youngevity Super Greens, the highly alkalinizing super supplement that helps balance your body. It's the superfood-powered way to get more organic fruits and veggies in your day, all in just one scoop. Check with your Youngevity distributor to learn more.
Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Youngevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to Briskie Business. In this segment, we go with Brisk's Best and Brightest. Programs about mentorship here at Brisk's Best and Brightest. And in past episodes, I really kind of geared this to the college graduate. I was talking to you because you're coming out into a insane world, an insane economy, and I was trying to reach you and let you know you might have to work a little bit harder than you thought, but things are going to be okay. And this week, I read an op-ed. And I'm going to read you some excerpts from it because I think it's really interesting. The op-ed was from Jason Wright, and he wrote it on the class of 2020. And I'm like, wow, that is perfect for what we've been talking about at Briskie Business. And this op-ed went in on how you measure success, but he focused instead on graduating from high school rather than college. Still, I think, an appropriate topic when we talk about mentorship. So in the article, he spoke about not being able to become whatever you want, and that people who love you had always told you you could. Wow, that was like throwing cold water on how we were all brought up. You remember our parents? I mean, remember? You could be a baseball player, you could be a football player, you could be a ballerina, honey. You could be anything you want. You know, in his article, he referenced being drafted into the NFL and singing on stage with Grammy winner Billie Eilish. Actually, I have a young high school graduating senior in my life who aspires to be a professional football player in the NFL, and another who actually longs to be win a Grammy and is working hard at trying to launch a singing career. Let me tell you, both of these graduates are working incredibly hard at their craft to try to become what they really want to become. But understand how lofty their goals are. They're so lofty to make it in the NFL, to actually win a Grammy. And I'm proud, super proud of their effort and really the support of their parents as they're encouraging them. And I tell you, that's not an easy thing to encourage when goals are that lofty. But they do have the talent, and I give them a pat on the back. And sometimes you got to give your kids a kick in the pants, especially when they want those lofty goals. It can't be all about hugging them up. Sometimes it has to be that kick in the pants when they need it. But when I was reading this article, it called to mind a time when I coached my young girls' soccer team. Oh my word. This was when the shift was happening. This was when we first started hearing about removing the goals from soccer nets. Didn't happen yet, but you were starting to hear it being like even a bit of conversation. But I was aloof to all that. I was just unaware because that's not how I was raised. I can't even imagine not competing. What's the point of being on a sports team? So I coached my daughter's soccer team. It was called the Red Hots. Oh man, guess what color our uniforms were? They were red, and we had the Red Hots. And one day after practice, I huddled up the girls, and they were all looking at me. These are 7, 8-year-old girls. And I said to them, girls, got a big game coming up this weekend. What is the most important thing? What is the most important thing? And I was kind of surprised at their answer because, man, I knew what I would have said at their age. And their hands went up, and I said, that's all right, all at once. What's the most important thing? And they were like, have fun. I was like, what? Have fun? And I realized that things were changing. So yeah, having fun was important. And I also realized that I was in a position that I needed to be really careful since obviously the majority of the girls said have fun. So how are we going to twist this a little bit? So I went on with the conversation. I said, you know, having fun is important. But really what's most important is winning. And we got the, literally the shock on their face was unbelievable. And I said, no, it's winning. And they said, no, my mommy this and my father. I said, hang on, let me help you understand. You wear your uniform to the grocery store after the game? Yes. What is the first thing somebody asks you when you're at the grocery store? Did you win? They said, yeah. They were like, yes. They asked if you win. That's right. You want to know why they ask you if you won? because that's what's most important. But let me tell you this. You need to understand this. Your parents aren't wrong. Winning is fun. Haha. So that's what they mean. Winning is fun. So it is more important that you have fun, and how you have fun is you win. Oh, I thought I skirted that pretty well. But guess what happened? The phone started ringing off the hook that evening. I had at least 4 calls from parents upset that I would teach winning to their kids. Wow, I was pretty shocked. But you know what? I went with it. And you know what? Those parents, they had a buy or bail choice to make. They could buy me as their coach and the leadership that came with it, or they could bail and go find a place where it's just about having fun or picking dandelions in the outfield or whatever makes you happy. You know, in an earlier show during a Briskie Business Basics segment, we talked about leadership. We're talking about high school graduates now. I am talking to you. I am speaking to you. I'm speaking to you right now. You have this opportunity to strive for excellence, hone your honorable gene, mine the field of integrity, and glean those trustworthy qualities where truth lives. And that truth lives in your heart. If you're known as a caring and generous self-giver and an honest person, full of integrity, then you're going to be able to earn trust amongst others. And I think that's a good place to be right now. You know, the current circumstances of the pandemic that pretty much makes, I guess, makes up close personal to, not to social distancing in my mind, but more like Darwinism, right? It's more about now survival of the fittest. Isn't that crazy? What's really happening? And we're seeing the claws come out a little bit, that people aren't real happy about this social distancing. They want to get out there and live their best life. Let me tell you about this survival to the fittest. This mentality will force you to compete against others. It'll force you to compete even with your friends. In fact, might even force some to step over or on their own friends for a job that they really want in the first place. But let me tell you something. No job, not one job, not any amount of money is worth that. It's about honor, and it's about your integrity, and it's about your trustworthiness and your empathy. So let's talk about that last word, that word empathy. In the world of social Darwinism, the weak are left for the hyenas and jackals to deal with, meaning to kill and eat. Most of the time, you can tell yourself that you deserve the job over the weaker person, but the dreams will haunt you. First, because you forced with reality under your conscious thoughts that you won and they didn't. You focus instead on justification of you being the better candidate. And now I understand the competition, and I believe it's healthy. But sleep well at night, knowing that I have not raised my ego to such an extent that I forgot about those who have not been fortunate. I urge you to listen to your heart and develop and elevate your heart to be the best you can be. The you that doesn't just see need and walk by, the word that's keen on helping others, the you that will offer assistance, job counseling, resume reviews. Act from a special place in your heart. The house's honor. That part of your house, that house's honor, trust, truth, integrity, and the essence of who you are. I promise if you'll spend this weird time honing in that part of your soul, you will become the type of leader that you should be. Winning is fun. But winners are defined by many different ways. Be the one not only your friend and family are proud of, but be the one that your coworkers and the one that you will be the change that we all need in this crazy world of ours. And by the way, look up Jason Wright's article. It's Fox News contributor. I think if you read that article cover to cover, it will bless you. It'll make you better. It'll make you think. These are crazy times, and you can do some crazy great things. And we're going to conclude Briskie Business right here. And I'll be back again next Wednesday to talk to you on Briskie Business.